90 days before Roosevelt's death, this agreement happened. And this agreement was not a written agreement. The two leaders met in a ship, and it was a 5 hours conversation where no press was allowed, and it was an unwritten agreement. The next generation has to be prepared to take on leadership roles. Yeah, the soil always whispers, but it is people and the leaders who have to listen to it.
Now, Captain Sahana, throughout the book, you study nations, resources, institutions, and leaders. What kind of leadership, does the 21st century need most urgently?
For example, oil is the one which is holding the economy of the world, okay?
Right.
Because the oil crisis has created an economic crisis altogether in the world.
True.
But if you see a small country like Indonesia, okay, they have got nickel.
Correct.
I mean, they are very, very rich in nickel.
Nickel.
So, this nickel can be used in all the chips,
semiconductors
and all of those. That may become so powerful, I mean, protecting the resources in our own country. It is holding the power because it feels that, like how Iran is holding Hormuz, Indonesia feels that holding nickel with them and calling funding or calling the other nations to come there and invest, that is leadership for Indonesia. So, like that, the leadership will not be the same throughout. We have to learn from the mistakes the previous leaders have done. At least in the next century, we have to train our future generation with strong leadership qualities, because thing is not only limited to Earth nowadays. We are thinking of going to the Mars also. We are thinking of inhabiting Mars also. So here on the Earth itself, if the nation starts being in conflict, so at least in the next generation, next 20 years, people should think, instead of having conflicts, more of, even if we restrain, even if our ego is hurt, maintaining the sovereignty of the nations, and also allowing the other nations, not only the powerful nations, but also the other nations coming and investing in there, or having a very beautiful relationship with the other nations matters a lot.
The whole crux of it is that not being selfish, country as a whole, will definitely bring prosperity to all the,
These days, we should not think of the ideologies of politics, religion.
Yeah.
Okay, we should think how each one can benefit with each other.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Right.
So we have to share the resources properly.
Your story begins about USS Quincy, where Franklin Roosevelt and the Abdul Aziz bin Saud reached a historic understanding.
Yeah.
What did this agreement signify more for the modern world order?
See, the meeting aboard the USS Quincy was much more than a diplomatic conversation, we can say, because at that time in the year 1945, the meeting was held on USS Quincy. And both leaders, FDR, that is Roosevelt, and also Abdul Aziz, they were not, they were ill. Both were ill. It was only 90 days for Roosevelt for his death. 90 days before Roosevelt's death, this agreement happened. And this agreement was not a written agreement. The two leaders met in a ship, and it was a 5 hours conversation where no press was allowed, and it was an unwritten agreement. Why this agreement happened? Both nations, again, they didn't think of the similarities between the nations, because they had a lot of differences, in ideologies, whether it was in the political ideology, religious ideology, or whatever you think. They were two separate countries with two different views, with two different ideologies. So, but their only what mattered to both the leaders was it was oil for America, for Roosevelt. It was security for Ibn Saud or Abdul Aziz.
Abdul Aziz.
So it was an agreement exchanging security, oil security, and the country's security,
security.
nation security. And this agreement which happened, it really, for almost 80 years, every president of America or every leader of Saudi Arabia,
Honored.
they followed this.
They honored the agreement.
They honored the agreement.
What we can learn from this, Captain Sahana Sundar, is that the leadership qualities truly determines the vision they had for such a long period of time, where both the nations were protected in their own respective, and they could follow till about 80 years.
About
I'm
80
sure
years.
both
Because
the
they only
leaders-
thought about the benefits. What
Right.
benefit I will get? America will get the benefit of
Right.
oil.
Right.
Continuous supply of oil, which Saudi had it in plenty. And what mattered Arabia, because it was in conflict with Israel from the beginning, and Arabia wanted security. So,
And your also book explores strategic, choke points such as the Strait of Hormuz, the Suez Canal, the Bab el Mandeb. Why are these narrow passages so important to global prosperity and stability?
because it is through these choke points only the oil is transported to the world.
Right.
Okay, all the trade happens on the maritime. Now it is all having a power, maritime power. So everything happens. All the ships had to pass through these important choke points. And actually, Nasser wanted to have a hold on Suez Canal.
Suez Canal.
Okay, Nasser is the president of Egypt. He wanted to have a complete hold on Suez Canal. But then there were conflicts happening, and the other nations were against Egypt having control over Suez. Not having a conflict between Israel and Egypt. And even today, the Egypt holds the Suez
Canal.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us know on this. And also, in the book you describe how oil became geopolitical weapon, during the Yom Kippur War. What lesson did the world learn from this experience?
Yeah. Yom Kippur War, it was an oil shock, an economic shock. I think during that time, Faisal was always, King Faisal of Saudi, he was telling everybody and he was giving warning signals that about the oil shock. And to give the whole world a lesson, he had an oil embargo on certain very, very powerful countries that affected the whole world. Even India was affected at that time. So, the leadership insight here is when some king is giving a warning, please listen to that. All the major powers neglected him, the warning that he was giving, and they thought he was also any other ordinary king of Saudi Arabia who doesn't understand the economic situation of the world. But Faisal was very strong, and so the leadership insight is always whenever hear to the warnings of the leaders.
So is it fair to tell that leadership, the signals are always there, the warnings are always there. A true leader is the one who eyes and ears are open to embrace these signals of warnings and take corrective measures. Is it fair to tell that these are the leadership qualities as well?
Yes, you will have to keep your ears, eyes
Open.
open, not only to the whispers of the soil, even to the warnings of the leader. And
Correct.
even you should learn, every nation should learn the civilization or the land on which we are all interacting or making allies or fighting with.
Captain Sana, across the different regions that you examine, what kinds of leadership emerged around oil and energy power, and which models endured and which failed?
Civilization unrest, the Americans or the other powerful countries did not read. They thought Shah was Iran, Iran was Shah. So some of and there was lot of this police also under Shah. I mean, certain people who had a lot of fanatics, or we cannot call fanatics, who had lot of interest for the civilization of Iran, they flee away. So this is one oil crisis where the leadership changed, because if if the powerful nations should not only read the leader, they should also read the civilization. Okay, what is happening in the mindset of the people on the land?
I guess the citizens also have to be counted.
Yeah.
Many a times you overpower the civilization and you overpower the citizenship, not understanding the reality.
And to give a very solid example, Norway, what it did, it accumulated funds, lot of funds. It was ready for any oil crisis.
Whoa.
Okay. So that's how Norway showed a very beautiful leadership
quality.
Even in the oil crisis, it could survive happily. But whereas Venezuela, when you come to Venezuela, they did not have any kind of economic backup or anything. They did not think of the future. And that's how they failed.
Yeah,
and oil crisis really hit them very badly.
Venezuela being one of the world's largest oil reserves. The leadership, ultimately the leadership failed not because of the resources, because of the decision made by the
Because of the decision, yes.
Now, today we hear increasingly about the economic corridors and trade connectivity. How is this corridor-driven world changing geopolitics, and where does India fit into this picture?
All this was a response to China, I can say. Like China started first it was all silk routes. Then it was about the BRI. BRI is the Belt and Road Initiative by China. It wanted to build ports, it wanted to build power stations, it wanted to catch harbors, it wanted to build a route, a trade route till the Mediterranean.
Correct.
Okay. So, and it did it also to certain extent. It started something called as IMEC. What is IMEC? India, Middle East, European Economic Corridor. Okay. So, it wanted to this, whatever it started, it has been announced. The announcement itself is a big leadership. So it is tomorrow's leadership, as I have already said. It is not about politically getting closer. It is about building corridors throughout the world.
Connecting
the complete world through trade routes and corridors.
Captain Sahana, throughout the book you encourage readers to look beneath the surface of events. One, ordinary citizens cultivate the habit of deep analysis.
Okay, citizens are the people who gauge the leaders, isn't it?
Right.
They should know what to be protected, what not to be. What has to be, how much a leader can go in his own journey to attain his own self glory. Okay. So the citizens have to be, every citizen's duty is to know about his country, about his resources, about his leader, and he also have to analyze whether the leaders are taking a good decision. Even if the IMEC, the corridor, should not be built over the people. If the
Correct.
people are not happy with it, yeah, the any leader for that matter should take the consensus of the people. It is, everything is for the people.
Yeah.
It is everything, whatever the leaders are doing should be for the happiness of the people.
Happiness of the people.
And even for our modern young generation, what I say is, you are tomorrow's leaders. You should know what is happening
What
in
is
the world.
happening?
Keep updated yourself. And you should have the sovereignty for your country. So that is what I want to tell the civilians, that each one of us should be aware of what is happening in the world, and what decisions the leaders are taking, whether it is a right decision or wrong decision. We have to prepare ourselves. The next generation has to be prepared to take on leadership roles.
Okay. So this reminds me that country is of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Yes.
Captain Sahana Sundar, I'm curious. If you were to write a sequel 10 years from now, what could be the development that you would be most interested in examining?
See, I have a dream of writing 9 more books.
Oh,
Total for, I want to write books. I want to make a Spark Leadership Library.
Yeah,
Okay.
fantastic.
So starting from Whispers of the Soil, this has given me a lot of insights.
I'm sure.
Then I want to write on economics and leadership, war and leadership, then the technology and leadership. So like that, I want to go on and on until I complete my 10th book. I'm unstoppable, you can say. Yes.
I can see the excitement and the curiosity way you are discussing about it. The last one thing that which pondering in my mind is that the title itself is deeply evocative. Whispers of the soil. If the soil could whisper to humanity today, what would you think it would be telling us now?
Yeah, the soil always whispers, but it is the civilization, the people, and the leaders who have to listen to it. Okay, the soil is always telling. As I already told you, why I took soil as metaphor, because the soil is soil, soil is oil, soil is water. Okay, underneath the soil only, all the treasures are there. So if we don't listen to the geography or the resources that we have, then we are not going to flourish.
Flourish.
If the nations have to flourish, we have to listen to the whispers of the soil before it shouts.
Shout.
Okay, like in Aral Sea, I told you the example. Even in before the Green Revolution, also, what happened? The soil shouts or screams. Before it screams, we should understand by its whispers only what corrective action we should take and how we should propel the nations or the world to a better place or a better destiny, I can say.
While I'm more inquisitive, more deeper in terms of understanding the versatility of the events that you have narrated, but I'll hold on to my horses. I'm sure all our viewers are as inquisitive as I am. So let's all grab a copy of this to get to know the 75 events that you have narrated to us. I guess it's a great treat to the readers. Now the copy will be available on Amazon. Please go grab it as early as possible. Thank you so much for listening to us.
Thank you, Chirant, for the wonderful interaction that we had, and your questions were so thought-provocative. And yes, I think I have responded to your questions which will impact the audience which they should understand why I have written the book, the purpose behind the book. If they understand and if they read it through, and what a message I want to give it to the audience, if they understand, I'll be very happy and I feel that is a success.
I'm sure, Captain Sahana Sundar, this is just the beginning, as you told that you're unstoppable for the next 9 books. We all look forward to grab a copy of thus 10 copies and make a command of it. Thank you so much for interaction.
Thank you, Shilan.
Thank you.